for months. So we say moon takes 27.3 days or 27.33 days to revolve around the Earth. So why month is 30 days long? So let's consider this situation. The sun is at the center and the Earth is here, and this is the Earth's orbit around the sun. Okay. Now moon is here exactly opposite to the sun. It is called opposition, which means at midnight you will be able to see the full moon almost overhead. And then you call this particular junction as full moon is complete. Okay, so you say it is full moon. After 27.3 days, I mean, we are looking at directions with respect to stars. After 27.3 days, the moon will be exactly along the same direction. But is it exactly opposite to sun? No, it is not exactly opposite to sun. So for that purpose, the moon will have to travel some extra distance, and during that time the Earth also would have traveled further slightly. So it takes about 2 more days for moon to come exactly opposite to the sun. During that time Earth has further traveled. Okay, and then this becomes the next full moon day, which is after about 29.5 days. Okay, unfortunately again it is not an integer number, so it is after 29.5 days. And then based on this information, again we can write a formula for this. So we can write omega of moon, we can write omega of sun, and we can write omega of moon with respect to sun. We can take the difference, we can take the reciprocals, and we'll see there is an interesting thing done in all ancient Indian texts. Okay, instead of taking reciprocals, they have done something different. Okay, a very interesting thing called bhaganas. So we'll talk about those things tomorrow, and that makes all calculations very simple. So we have lunar months in this Hindu astronomy, or what we call ancient Indian astronomy. These are Chaitra, Vaishak, Jyeshtha, Ashad, Shravan, Bhadrapad, Ashwin, Kartik, Margashirsha, Paush, Magh, and Phalgun. They're all named after nakshatras. So let us see that. In the month of Margashirsha, this is a picture taken of one of the full moon day in the Margashirsha, and you see the moon is closer to these stars. Now you see this is Betelgeuse, Bellatrix. This is part of Orion constellation. In the Indian name or the Hindu astronomy name for Orion is Mruga Nakshatra, and this is the head of Mruga, which is Mrugashirsha. Okay, and when the full moon comes close to Mrugashirsha, then that month is called Margashirsha. Margashirsha is from Mrugashirsha. When you say Magh, this is the full moon of Magh month, and it is closer to Magha Nakshatra. This regular star in the Leo constellation is Magha Nakshatra. So when the full moon is near Magha Nakshatra, that month becomes Magh. When full moon comes close to Spica, Spica is Chitra Nakshatra, then it is Chaitra. Full moon comes close to Vishaka Nakshatra. Vishaka Nakshatra is identified by these two stars in the Libra constellation. Okay, then that month is called Vaishak. When full moon is near this bright star Antares, which is called Jyeshtha Nakshatra, then that month is called Jyeshtha. So, Jyeshtha Nakshatra, and month is called Jyeshtha. Similarly, when full moon is close to Kritika, that particular month is called Kartik. So, going back to this list of months, so Chaitra corresponds to Chitra Nakshatra, Vishaka corresponds to Vaishak corresponds to Vishaka Nakshatra, Jyeshtha Nakshatra, Purva Shada Nakshatra, Shravana Nakshatra, or Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, Ashwini Nakshatra, Kritika Nakshatra, Mrugashirsha Nakshatra, Pushya Nakshatra, Magha Nakshatra, and Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. So when I say these 12 nakshatras, what about the other nakshatra? What about the remaining 15 nakshatras? So remaining 15 nakshatras are close by to them. So effectively we have taken an alternate nakshatra. So does it mean that see, this is near Chitra, this is near Vishakha. Now after Chitra we have Swati, okay, and then Vishakha. So uh, is it not that sometimes on a full moon day, moon will come close to uh, Swati nakshatra? Yes, but then the months have been named after certain nakshatras. How exactly month is defined is by slightly different procedure. So when we come to this intercalary months, we'll talk about that. Okay, how they exactly they are related to nakshatras, but this is not the exact definition of how month is named. Okay, though it is related, it is useful to remember. It is useful to understand the sky, but if you want a definition, then you need to go more rigorous. So the definition will come here. We'll need something called intercalary month. Okay, in order to understand intercalary month, we'll understand how the months are named. So a tropical year, that means Earth going around the sun, with respect to vernal equinox point, we'll come to that at the end, is about 365.2422 days or 219 days, and more specifically. A lunar month, that is synodic month, full moon to full moon or new moon to new moon, is about 29.52 days. I have not mentioned more precise numbers here. Tomorrow we'll talk about more precise numbers. So 12 months should have a total of 354 days, which is 29.5 multiplied by 12, 354 days. This is 11 days shorter than the tropical year. But month is a smaller unit, easier unit, because you can easily see the different phases. So one goes for this. As a result, every year the lunar calendar begins 11 days earlier. And all the festivals based on lunar calendar will be observed 11 days earlier. Okay. Now, since most of the festivals are related to season, I'm talking about the Indian context, it is important to have correlation between the lunar calendar and solar calendar. This also may be true for other civilizations, but here we are talking mainly about the Indian scenario. And this is done by introducing additional or intercalary month in about every 3 years. Again, it is not exactly every 3 years. Okay, it is there is a small. I mean that 3 year is an approximation. So let us see how it is done, because it is done more rigorously. So intercalary month, or what we call Adhik Mas. How is that Adhik Mas decided? So first let us understand how the months are named. So we have seen one zodiac is 30 degrees. Now sun takes 365.2422 days to go around one complete revolution, that is 12 zodiacal signs. So sun remains in one zodiacal signs approximately 30.5 days. Why I'm saying approximately 30.5 days, of course it is an approximation. Also because sun doesn't move uniformly. In some zodiac signs it may go faster, some zodiac signs it may stay for even longer duration. Okay. Generally in every lunar month, the sun will be observed to transit from one zodiacal sign to next zodiacal sign. That is called Sankrant. So say approximately on 14th of our Gregorian calendar months, the sun seems to be going from one zodiacal sign to the next zodiacal sign, the Indian zodiacal sign I'm talking about. Okay. So say if it is going from say Mesha to Vrishabh, it is called Vrishabha Sankrant. Vrishabh to Mithun, it will be called Mithun Sankrant. Okay, the more famous is Makar Sankrant. Why it is more famous, we'll talk about that tomorrow. The lunar months are named after these transitions. Okay. If in the month of Paush, in the month of Paush, sun will enter the zodiacal sign of Makar. So in whichever lunar month is taken from new moon day to next new moon day. Okay, whichever lunar month sun changes, sun enters into Makara Rashi, that lunar month is called Paush month. See, I've given you now a slightly different definition than what I earlier called. Earlier, while showing those pictures, I said if on full moon day, moon is near Pushya Nakshatra, that month becomes Paush. But more rigorously, it is defined this way, that in a particular month, when sun enters Makara Rashi or Capricorn constellation, not constellation, zodiacal sign. Okay, in the beginning, I told you the difference between constellation and zodiacal signs. Zodiacal signs are equal 30-degree parts on ecliptic. Okay, then that month will be called Paush month. If in a month sun enters Aquarius, okay, so if Aquarius is Kumbha, so in any particular lunar month, if sun happens to make Kumbha Sankrant, that means it enters Kumbha or Aquarius, that month will be called Magh. So similarly, if it is going to enter Meen, okay, that will be called Falgun. If it is going to enter Mesh, then that month will be called Chaitra, and so on. Now, lunar month or the synodic month, what we call, is 29.5 days long. Now you see, we want to correlate the motion of the sun and motion of the moon. Why? Because we want months to happen in the same season. Now there is a problem. The problem is lunar month takes within 29.5 days. Solar sun going from one zodiacal sign to next zodiacal sign takes about 30.5 days. It is possible that in a particular lunar month, the sun does not transit from one zodiac sign to another. Imagine just before full moon day, new moon day, just before Amavasya, if sun has changed from one zodiac to next zodiac. After that, Amavasya has happened. Another 29.5 days, that particular month will continue. So next Amavasya will be after 29.5 days. But sun may not go into the next zodiacal sign, because next zodiacal sign it will go only after 30.5 days or sometimes even slightly longer. So this entire lunar month, you have no transition of sun from one zodiacal sign to another zodiacal sign. What will you do? You already defined every month because of the transition. If sun transitions from one zodiacal sign to next zodiacal sign, it should be called this month. And one particular month, that transition is not happening. So you have no name for that. So that month becomes additional. So it is called Adhika Mas. Now we know that Adhika Mas is also given name, but that is an adopted name. So what is that? So let us take an example. In the month of Chaitra, the sun enters Aries. Now suppose this happens just before Amavasya. Then the sun may remain in Aries till the next Amavasya. And this month will be called Adhika. And it is called Adhika Vaishak because it was supposed to be Vaishak. But this is not Vaishak because the transition has not happened. And after next Amavasya, in the next lunar month, the sun will enter Taurus, and that month will be called the true Vaishak. So Nija Vaishak means true Vaishak. So we will have this extra month named after the next month. So the next month is the true Vaishak, and this is an extra Vaishak. So extra month comes, the name of extra month precedes the name of true month. It is not called Adhika Chaitra because it has happened after Chaitra. It is called Adhika Vaishak. This is an extra month. And after that, the Nija Vaishak comes. Nija means true Vaishak comes. Also, sometimes because of this non-uniform motion, you may have a Kshaya Mas. Now, what is that? Now, due to eccentric orbit of the Earth and Moon, the solar month transition from one zodiacal sign to the next zodiacal sign can be faster. The sun could be moving relatively faster. and it may be smaller than 29.5 days. Remember, the average solar month is 30.5 days. But if sun moves faster, because it is moving in elliptical orbit. Right? Actually, sun is not moving, Earth is moving. So Earth is moving in elliptical orbit, and if Earth comes closer to the sun, it will be moving faster. And during that time, you will see that sun is also moving faster because you are sitting on Earth. So relative motion will tell you that sun is moving faster, and in that time, you will see the sun moving faster, and the duration of sun going from one zodiac to next zodiac can be smaller than lunar month. So it may happen that in a particular lunar month, the sun may have two transitions. Just after the lunar month has begun, suppose sun has made a transition and it is moving faster. Just before end of lunar month, it made another transition. Now we have a problem. What is the problem? Based on a transition, we have given the name of the month. Now there are two transitions happening. It means the same month should have two different names. Okay, so what is done is this. So according to the rule of naming months, first transition it should be called that month. The second transition it should be called that month. Okay, so this is called the first transition name should be missing. Okay, because two transitions have happened in the same month. Okay, so either month should be called by two different names, or one of the name you miss. So it is called Kshaya Mas or reduced month. What is done in practice is in the first half of the month, that is first Paksha, Amavasya to Purnima, it is called 1 month, and second Krishna Paksha, that is Purnima to Amavasya, it is called by the second name. The first fortnight is named after first month, and second fortnight is named after the second month. Now, when this happens, there is always an intercalary month in that year, because you see, on an average, the intercalary month is required. So when you are saying that 1 month is missing, okay, the calculation will basically tell you that in that particular year, it will also happen that when the sun becomes slow, the moon will, there will be particular lunar month where no transition will take place. Because here now what is happening is the lunar transition, the solar transition are taking typically around the new moon days. And therefore, in the same year, the intercalary month also will happen. But this particular thing of Kshaya Mas or missing month is a very rare phenomenon. It is not a very common phenomenon.